welcome to part 4 of our Garrett Pro Pointer switch replacement. So, as you can see, here's where the switch used to go. I removed the pins in the solder and got it out. I ordered a new switch. Here it is. It's precisely the same thing. In the kit that I ordered came a little bit of solder and a little bit of this is for cleaning up the excess solder. I only used a little bit of it, but it comes with it. It's a nice kit. So anyway, I'll leave you guys a link in this video so you'll have it. So anyway, the next step is I'm going to take and clean. This is the top side. This is where the switch goes, but there's a little flux on there, so I'm going to take and clean that off first with your basic drugstore alcohol, and that's all you need. So the switch goes here. It doesn't matter which way it goes. It's one way or precisely the other, and that's all there is. So let's see. Take and unwind the solder that the gentleman left in the kit, which was very kind. And we got to flip this board over. So how are we going to do that without that switch falling out? So what I'm going to do is put a little solder on here, hold it in place, and just tack one pin. It doesn't have to be perfect, just enough to hold it. Come on. That's not enough solder. There we go. And you make sure your switch is in there nice and flat. See there, it looks pretty flat. And you can flip it over all day long. Okay, where'd you go? It's right, the pins are right there. Alright, so then you just start soldering it in. Come on, baby. Alright, so now the joints are cooled, so the solder is solidified again, but what you do when it's still hot is you clean it right away, because it cleans up a lot nicer. This is going to be a little bit of a bear to get into. In fact, it's going to be close to impossible. But flux can attract dirt, and you know, these things don't stay clean very well as they age on the inside of the Pro Pointer. So, alright, well, that's as good as that's going to get. Okay, so let's roll her over. So there's the switch. Looks like $1,000,000. Now, let's take our battery. This is used, it came with it, and I'm told by the previous owner that these 9-volt batteries can be drained way, way, way down and still work inside the Pro Pointer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook this. It'll be out of frame, but you guys can believe me. Okay, so here we go. What? Huh. Well, that's not what I expected. It shows that when the button is out, that the thing's on. And yeah, it turns on real nice. And I've got metal all over the place over by the tip of the... So, that's off. I thought that was on, but okay. Maybe the polarity's backwards. But, I don't know. That's interesting. In is off. And you wiggle it around, and it's tight as a drum, man. Okay, well, you know, what are you going to do? Interesting. Okay, so we'll leave the battery off. That seemed to have worked pretty well. Alright, so one of the things I did wrong was these pieces of plastic here are from the rear of the housing here. I don't know if you can see it very well. But what happened is I did what I told you not to do, and I've seen it in other videos. Don't do it. Don't shove this board in forcefully, because it gets hung up on the wires and you can't, you know, I just shoved it in with a pair of pliers and it went in. Well, I have consequently, let's see, grab a flashlight. I don't know if you can see those ribs in there, but man, they are chewed up. Yeah, you see the chunks missing off the end? All 4 of them. So what I had to do was I went down to the vise in the garage and I grabbed this thing. Let's see, how does this go in? It goes in like that. So I grabbed it on the sides with the vise and a piece of wood and squeezed it just a little. I didn't even hear it crack or anything, and I grabbed onto it. I grabbed onto the end here and it pulled out. So that was lucky. So do as I do, not as I say. I don't know. Maybe I got that backwards too. All right, so next step here, I've got my phone in a little pan of ice, so it's behaving. So what I'm going to do is try to do this live, because this is you know, I don't know if it's going to make a good video. This is one of those things that not a lot of people know how to do, so I'm going to let it, you know, let it be a video. But I'm going to try and get this thing in. Oh, you know, somebody said you should grab these wires right here. Here, let's get the light right. Okay, those 3 wires right there. You should tie something to them, like a piece of string, so you can hold them out of the way as you shove this all down. You know, I didn't think that was necessary, but after barely getting this thing apart, might be. But you know what we're going to do real quick? No, we don't need to test it. We just did. Alright, so how are we going to get this in there? Well, let's see. I've got a pair of, what are these things called? Well, these are scissors. Those won't work. You need almost like a loop of music wire, so you can reach in and hook the wires and kind of hold it in place, which is what I was thinking of doing. Let me go get something like that. I'll be right back.